What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my review of the Innova GStar Colossus. Big thank you to viewer, subscriber Chris Caulfield for sending me this disc to test and review. I'm also going to give this disc away at the end of the video. Thanks again for all your generosity, Chris. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys appreciate it as well. Make sure you thank Chris for giving you guys the opportunity to win this disc from the Disc Golf Nerd channel. Let's get into the review. I'm stoked to post a review on this disc. This is one that's been on my radar for a while. Pretty much since it came out, I wanted to check it out, and I'm really glad I did. GStar Colossus. 14, 5, -2, 3 are the flight numbers, which I think are pretty spot on for my testing. First 14-speed disc from Innova, fastest disc in the Innova lineup so far. There you go, Innova Disc Golf. This one's got a pretty flat top to it, no real dome whatsoever. And then here it says on the bottom, GStar Colossus, 168 grams. You can see the really wide rim on this thing. It's got a pretty flat underside there, pretty flat on the top as well, but very wide, translating to a lot of speed and distance potential. I'll throw it up next to this Leopard 3 just so you guys can get an idea of just how wide the rim is on this thing. Look at that. It's like almost twice as wide. And it's, well, I guess it's considered twice the speed. The Leopard 3 is a 7. And the Colossus is a 14, so yeah, I guess that would make sense. But yeah, look at that. That's crazy. I'm glad I could provide that little look for you guys to give you an idea. That being said, the wide rim, for me, you guys know I have pretty large hands. I can get a nice grip on this thing. I like the feel of it in the hand, and I have no trouble there. Sometimes I feel like I can rip on a disc a little better when it's got a wider rim. It gives me a little bit more to control. I can feel like I can throw that rim a little bit better. But yeah, the GStar plastic is fantastic. I love the GStar plastic. It's probably my overall favorite blend that Innova puts out. It's not the most durable blend. It will break in pretty fast from my testing and my experience with the GStar Wombat that's in my bag. They'll break in quickly, but they just feel so nice. I love the super flexible nature, the really grippy feel in the hand. It just feels phenomenal. I love the GStar plastic. I think it's again my favorite plastic Innova has on the market for sure. This one, you can see a lot of flexibility to it. You can bend it any way you want to do, and any way you want to bend it, it'll go, and you can see how much it'll depress under the thumb. All of that translates to a super great grip and feel in the hand. If you guys have small hands or you don't like wide rim feel in the hand, you're not gonna like this disc, because as I showed you there, it's got a real beefy rim. So let's talk about it. This is probably one of my favorite high-speed discs that I've tested recently in the 13 plus speed range. It's really not all that difficult to control given the speed. You can see the distance potential is there. I wasn't like blown away with how far I could throw it, but it's definitely fast, and you can see how fast it is, and you can see that if you got it ripped on the right angle that it will just go. The glide is very apparent. It stays up in the air for a while. But the thing I like about it is that it doesn't have a big overstable meat hook finish. It's just got kind of a nice stable finish where it'll fade in and land and skip and stuff, but nothing super crazy. It's definitely got a nice skip on the landing depending on the angle that you hit when it lands and the surface that it lands on, which is nice. You know, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing depending on the shot. But if you're throwing something that you don't want to skip, you probably don't want to throw something this fast. A lot of times faster discs in general will skip a lot when they land, you know, depending on the angle, of course. But yeah, this thing, I really like it in the fact that I can just kind of like hyzer flip it, and it'll go mostly straight and still have that finish in to the left. But I can also throw it pretty flat, and it'll do mostly the same thing. It'll ride out a little bit more, and it'll still finish back. So the nice thing about it is that sometimes with high-speed discs, to get distance out of them, you kind of got to get them flipped over, and they'll kind of take a big, exaggerated swoop through the air, causing you to lose some accuracy. Not really the case with this from my testing. I can throw it on a little hyzer or pretty flat. It'll stand up and hold mostly straight all the way, but it'll still have that little finish and a little skip. But yeah, it's really mostly straight up to speed, which I like quite a bit. Innova's GStar Colossus, solid mold. I think if you had a big arm, this could be a nice, like, kind of open bomber distance hyzer flip type disc. I'm also fairly certain that the GStar plastic is slightly more understable for the most part than it would be in, like, say, a Champion plastic. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that seems to be the case with my experience with GStar. So yeah, big arms, hyzer flip this thing, big open distance shots where you just want to bomb something and let it ride and come back and just fly out a big line. Still too fast for your average beginner, I would say. You guys still, if you're a beginner, stay away from the high speed stuff until you've been playing for a little while and you have your form down. But kind of middle of the road distance throwers, I think the Colossus is a great option for you to check out. Very controllable for a 14-speed disc. Had a lot of fun testing it. If you want to win this disc, just make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you comment on this video to enter you into the contest, and make sure you like the video as well. That's all I ask. I will leave the contest open from about a week or so when I post the video, and I'll pick a winner and let you guys know who won. I'll probably just reply to your comments, so stay tuned. I will check to you guys later. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks again to Chris for hooking me up with this disc to test and review and give away to you folks. I will check you guys later. Cheers.